Now, those are the traditional retreats that we do. We do the 4/5. In some traditions it's 4, in some traditions it's 5. We do 100,000 minimum each. Lama Tsongkhapa, he retreated to a cave for 6 years with a group of close students, and he did 1 million plus of each of those retreats. And after he finished, he had direct vision of Manjushri. And from then on, he received instructions from Manjushri. He wrote down text quoted by Manjushri. And when he had any questions, he would ask Manjushri directly, any time, day or night, instantly. The retreat purified the mind to be able to see high-level beings. So when we finish these retreats, then simultaneously, along with the retreats, we should practice the Lamrim and stabilize our mind in renunciation, impermanence, and the realization of our personal debts. And realizing our personal debts is not an intellectual understanding, but a pseudo realization that pushes us to do more with our lives, to stop wasting our time in samsara. We can do dharma work equivalent to doing the 4 retreats. We can. And if we do dharma work continuously with a loving, happy, smiling, and compassionate mind, we will purify our mind and collect a tremendous amount of merit. So therefore, after we have finished our preliminary retreats, we have grounded ourselves, stabilized ourselves in the practice of the 3 principal paths, which is actually a summarization of the Lamrim text. Death, impermanence, bodhicitta, and a grounding and understanding of emptiness. So we stabilize ourselves with Lamrim or condensed Lamrim, which is the 3 principal paths. And when we condensed our minds with the 3 principal paths or Lamrim, either way, Lamrim is just extended, 3 principal paths is condensed. When we stabilize our mind with the 3 principal paths and we have a strong grounding and a true realization of impermanence and death, then all of our actions will gear towards the Dharma. No matter what difficulties and problems and obstacles we face, we will not give up the Dharma practice. That will be a clear indication that we have realized death. Contrary to making us gloomy or sad or down, it will push us toward doing more Dharma practice. Then the second is to have bodhicitta, a intellectual and a beginner's feeling of bodhicitta. The bodhicitta, the wish to liberate others tirelessly, that any difficulties will not stop you from benefiting and liberating others. And then a intellectual or a light feeling of emptiness. As my teacher used to say, when you have a realization of impermanence, bodhicitta, and emptiness, grounded by the 4 preliminary practices, then you will be ready on a rudimentary level for the higher tantric practices and teachings. So don't walk into a center, to a lama's presence, and thinking you are ready for Tantra when you have done no homework, no groundwork, no practice, and your mind is unstable. Tantra is for those who have realized the 3 principal paths, if not anything except even on an intellectual level where they are at least actively practicing. As my teacher said, we can practice the 3 principal paths and Lamrim in conjunction to Tantra. After we have done our retreats, then we can look for the Yidam. And this is the most powerful person in the universe. This is one of the main practices for centuries of the sacred and very powerful Sakya sect. It is a sacred practice within the Kagyu sect. And it's one of the most sacred practices within the Gelugpa sect. All right? So you've got three major sects that totally has extracted the teachings of this powerful person, this being, from ancient India and brought it over. And now we're bringing it to the world. All right? Now, once you have found your teacher, you practice Lamrim, and you did the 4 preliminary teachings. Then, with humility, humbleness, and steadiness of the mind, after you have checked out your teacher, your teacher has checked you out, you request for the initiation of the sacred Sindora Mandala of this lady. And you receive her 11 yogas, and you receive her commentary, and you receive her oral transmissions. And then you do the tulk twice a month. You do her mantras, you do her sadhanas, which takes about 1 hour to 2 hours a day. And you do preliminary and post-sadhanic meditations. And on top of that, you do retreats and fire pujas and self-initiations. And if you practice this deity all the way, you will achieve enlightenment. For those who are the highest practitioners, the most sincere, within one lifetime. For those of mediocre level, they will achieve enlightenment within 14 lifetimes. And for those of the lowest quality, they will take rebirth again and again and again in a place, environment, near a Lama who will teach them these teachings again. And also, if you practice this sacred deity, you need no other yidam. You need no other practice. You need no other tantric deity. Vajrayogini is complete. Vajrayogini is totally complete. I want you to take a closer look at her beautiful face.